What if I told you that the burrito you ate yesterday was, well, a complete lie?
A literal
A
lie.
literal structural lie. Like, what if I told you that for the last 2.5 decades, you have been the unwitting victim of a really methodical and brilliantly executed psychological operation?
Oh, I love a good psyop.
Right. But this one is disguised as a drive-through menu. So welcome, everyone. You are listening to another deep dive on Off the Record.
Yes, you are. And we have so much to get into today.
We really do. We have a genuinely staggering amount of data to unpack for you tonight. We're diving into a multi-decade structural analysis.
Well, wait. Before we go one single step further into this architectural analysis, we need to pause right now.
Oh, right. Yes. The plug.
Exactly. If you're listening to this, you need to open your browser or open your app and go to @HAM-OTR.
At AMOTR.
Yes, @AMOTR. That is the official YouTube channel for Off the Record. You need to like and subscribe right now.
Please do. It really helps us out.
I mean, we sit here week after week providing you with, unparalleled analytical rigor. We dissect the very fabric of reality for your benefit.
We really tear it apart.
So the absolute least you can do, the bare minimum required to maintain this parasocial contract we have with you, is to click a button at HMOTSO. Do it.
Thank you for getting that out of the way. It is essential. Now, before we launch into the granular data of tonight's material, our director and producer, Ryan Thomas, has instituted a mandatory pre-show protocol.
Ah, yes, Ryan's mandates.
Yeah, he has requested, well, actually, he essentially demanded a vocal exercise to ensure our enunciation remains crisp, resonant, and entirely professional for you.
And we always do exactly what Ryan Thomas asks us to do, don't we?
Yeah.
We're very obedient.
We are. Let's begin the exercise. Liam Neeson's niece, Lisa Neeson, recently leased a really nice Nissan.
Liam Neeson's niece, Lisa Neeson, recently leased a really nice Nissan.
Yeah.
Flawless execution.
Impeccable.
Impeccable labial and dental friction from both of us, honestly. And I should note, for the record, that Ryan Thomas also curated tonight's entire aesthetic and sensory experience.
He really went all out.
He did. He selected the topic we were discussing. He procured all this archival fast food menu data from the dark web or wherever, and he arranged the specific meal and drink pairings currently sitting in front of us.
The drinks are very visually intimidating.
They are. But he has this impeccable taste. It is almost frightening how he knows exactly what we need precisely when we need it.
It is a little scary, yeah.
He just sits back there in the control room behind the glass, pulling the strings. Look at him.
He is a very thorough, very deliberate producer. And, his curation tonight brings us to a 25-year structural expose.
Let's get into it.
We are looking at the phenomenon of shrinkflation at Taco Bell. Specifically, we're tracking the timeline and the corporate mechanics from 1999 all the way to the mid-2020s.
Exactly. And the thesis here is critical for you to internalize right from the top. Taco Bell hasn't just shrunk its food over time.
Right. It's not just smaller portions.
No, that is a rudimentary, pedestrian way of looking at macroeconomic shifts. What they have actually engaged in is a 25-year structural drift.
It's structural drift. Yeah.
They're fundamentally redefining the very concept of value within the entire quick-service restaurant ecosystem.
Yeah.
This isn't just about a smaller tortilla.
No, it's much deeper.
It is about the complete architectural overhaul of what a single United States dollar means when converted into calories.
Okay, so to understand the absolute magnitude of this drift, we have to establish our historical baseline. I need to transport you back to the late 1990s.
A beautiful time.
It really was.
Yeah.
Specifically, let's look at the data from 1999. The research provided by Ryan positions this exact era as the absolute golden age of volume-driven value.
The golden age.
At this point in history, the brand was operating under this intensely aggressive under-a-dollar pricing strategy.
Right, which was an inheritance from earlier decades, honestly. It was
Yeah.
a legacy identity that they were still desperately clinging to.
Yeah, because the late 90s were a massive transitional phase industry-wide.
Totally. Nominal prices were still absurdly low, almost comedically so by today's standard.
Like pennies, practically.
Yeah, but the operational cost pressures on the back end were really beginning to mount. Real estate costs, supply chain logistics, baseline inflation, it was all creeping up.
Right. But if you look at the community recollections, the archival receipts from 1999, the historical pricing data we have laid out here, it all points to core items acting as absolute budget staples.
More staples.
Yeah.
Your standard soft tacos, your bean burritos.
Right. Your basic foundational menu items. We are talking about items priced near or entirely below the $1 to $2 equivalent in nearly every major American market.
It's crazy to think about now.
The consumer snapshots from this era are genuinely staggering. You could walk up to a counter and acquire a total meal, a massive caloric surplus, frankly, for the low single-digit dollar range.
Like $3.
Three, maybe $4. It solidified their identity in the market. They were not aiming to be a premium, elevated quick service brand with artisanal pretensions.
Oh, definitely not.
They were a pure, unadulterated, volume-driven value chain. But if we step back and look at this from a purely economic standpoint, how does that even work?
It's a great question.
Like, how could they possibly sustain a viable business model, paying employees and maintaining brick-and-mortar stores when an entire satiating meal costs pocket change?
It seems to defy the basic laws of commercial viability, right?
It really does.
Well, it's a brilliant question. And to understand it, you have to look at the mechanics of scale. In 1999, you were looking at the tail end of their most expansive value menu philosophy.
Okay.
These larger base portions, the sheer density of the food being handed out the window, were subsidized by razor-thin, extremely low margins.
So they barely made anything on each item.
Exactly. They weren't making a massive profit per burrito. Those low margins were offset entirely by massive, unrelenting, high throughput.
Right through.
Think of it like a highway toll booth. The toll booth doesn't make a fortune off one single car tossing 50 cents into the basket.
Right, it's just 50 cents.
But it makes a fortune because 60,000 cars pass through it every single day. That was the 1999 Taco Bell model.
Ah, okay.
It was an identity built entirely on velocity and volume. You don't make money on one 79-cent burrito. You make money on 10,000 of them sold between midnight and 2 in the morning.
That makes so much sense. It was an operational masterclass in moving physical product from the assembly line into the consumer's hands.
Exactly.
It really was a golden age of velocity. You know, looking at these archival receipts Ryan printed out for us, it just brings it all back.
Does it?
Yeah,
I
I remember what it felt like to be young, to be completely hopelessly broke, living in that terrible first apartment with the water damage on the ceiling that the landlord refused to fix.
Oh, here we go.
No, seriously. And yet, despite the crushing weight of early adulthood, I could walk into that brightly lit lobby with 3 crumpled dollar bills, and I could buy a feast.
A sodium feast.
It felt like the world wasn't entirely hostile, you know? Like, even if you had absolutely nothing, you could still have a moment of warmth, a moment of plenty.
Okay.
It was a very specific kind of economic safety net that just doesn't seem to exist anymore.
Oh, please. Listen to you. You are romanticizing a drive-through window in 1999 like it was the Renaissance.
It felt safe.
You weren't experiencing existential safety. You're experiencing heavily processed cheese product in sodium at 2 in the morning. Let's maintain some analytical distance here, please.
I'm just saying.
But I will say, hold on, taking a sip of this.
My God.
Is it good? Whatever high-end bourbon Ryan Thomas poured for us tonight, it is astonishing. Notes of oak, a little vanilla, maybe a hint of smoke.
He does have a good palate.
He has a phenomenal palate. He's a total control freak, obviously, dictating our exact blood alcohol content for the sake of the broadcast, meticulously pacing our consumption.
Very meticulous.
But you have to respect the absolute terrifying precision of the man. Anyway, where were we?
Right, the transition out of that high-volume, low-margin era. That brings us to the next critical phase in the timeline. The period between 2000 and 2008.
Yeah.
The dawn of what the research explicitly refers to as segmentation deception.
Yes. This is where the structural architecture really begins to fracture.
Yeah.
The introduction of the Big Bell value menu.
Right.
And later, moving into the mid-2000s, the incredibly aggressive why pay more pricing tiers. This is where the math changes entirely.
It really does.
Between roughly 2003 and 2008, corporate strategists introduced formalized, heavily segmented pricing systems that clustered specific items permanently under $1 while allowing other items to float upward.
And this is a critical structural decoupling for you to understand. They split the entire menu ecosystem into 2 distinct, diverging categories.
2 different worlds, essentially.
On one side, you had the regular menu items. These were your higher margin, standardized portions, the legacy items that carried the brand's identity. Right. And then on the other side, you had the value menu items, which were fundamentally smaller, aggressively cost-controlled portions designed purely to maintain the illusion of the 1999 baseline.
Exactly. Let's use a functional analogy to explain this decoupling. Imagine you are a home builder.
Okay, a home builder.
For decades, you've built a standard, reliable brick house for a set price. But suddenly, the cost of bricks skyrockets.
Inflation.
Right. You have 2 choices. raise the price of the house and anger your buyers, or keep the price exactly the same, but quietly start building the interior walls out of the cheapest, thinnest drywall legally allowed.
Oh, wow.
The house looks the same from the street. The square footage is technically the same, but the structural integrity, the actual value of the materials, has been gutted.
That is so deceptive.
That is what Taco Bell did with your menu. This is the exact moment the stealth shrinkflation begins. Instead of taking the massive public relations hit of uniformly shrinking their flagship, beloved products, they created parallel, smaller versions of similar items.
So they just made decoys.
They utilized ingredient substitution, they utilized simplification, and most importantly, they increased their reliance on modular assembly.
Modular assembly. Let's break that down for the listener.
It means taking a very small amount of variable, expensive proteins, beef, chicken, steak, and stretching them out with incredibly cheap, volume-heavy commodities.
Like rice and beans.
Rice, beans, massive dollops of sour cream, extra layers of tortillas. It's an evil genius move, honestly.
It really is.
They embedded the size reduction into the product segmentation itself. They trained the consumer to expect less meat and more filler, and they branded it as a value menu.
They spun it as a positive.
The corporate strategists who sat in a boardroom and came up with this were smart little shits, honestly. They fundamentally rewired how we perceive the weight of a meal.
It's actually incredibly poignant when you think about it.
Poignant. Are you kidding? It's supply chain logistics.
Yeah.
It's cost-benefit analysis. There's absolutely nothing poignant about a bean-to-beef ratio.
No, but the decoupling. Think about the decoupling. Splitting a unified entity into regular standardized portions and cost-controlled value items. That's exactly what happened in my last relationship.
Oh, good Lord. Here we go. I knew the bourbon would do this.
No, think about it. Please, just listen to me for a second. We started out as a unified meal, a premium offering. We were the $19.99 baseline.
You were not a baseline.
But over time, as the pressures of life mounted, there was this stealth shrinkflation of affection. My partner remained this standardized, high-margin, fully realized person moving through the world with all their premium ingredients intact.
Yeah.
And I was slowly relegated to the value menu of their life. I was the cost-controlled item.
Okay, dial it back.
The emotional portion sizes they gave me just kept getting smaller and smaller, and I was expected to just accept it, to just be grateful, because I was technically still on the menu.
This is a terrible analogy.
I was just modular assembly,
Yeah.
a variable protein swapped out for cheap filler. They were just stuffing me with emotional rice to make it look like a real relationship.
Wow. Jesus. Okay, that is bleak. First of all, this drink is incredibly strong. I can actually feel it in the roots of my teeth right now.
It's hitting me too.
Ryan poured these with serious intent. He is an absolute shithead for making them this stiff this early in the broadcast. But, God, you have to admit, when he stands back there in that control room with his arms crossed, adjusting the audio levels, he looks so authoritative.
He does have good posture.
Have you noticed his shoulders in that tight Henley shirt he's wearing today? It's like he could just pick up this entire desk and throw it through a wall.
I was just saying that the emotional substitution of my core value.
And I know exactly what you were saying.
Yeah.
Wallowing.
Yeah.
Stop letting people treat you like a side of dehydrated beans. You're better than that.
Thank you.
Let's move on to the 2010s before we both start crying on mic. The 2010 to 2018 transition. This is where the company moves from simple segmentation into complex algorithmic pricing elasticity management.
Right. Okay. Let me look at the outline. The 2010s. This brings us to the $1 to $5 Cravings menus and the absolute unprecedented explosion of limited time offers, or LTOs. Rotating product discontinuations became the norm.
It was chaos.
They would invent a product, hype it up, and then rip it away from us 3 weeks later.
But before we talk about the LTOs, we have to explain pricing elasticity management, because that is the engine driving this entire era.
Go for it.
Price elasticity of demand is an economic measurement. It measures exactly how much the consumption of a product changes when its price changes. It's like a rubber band.
Okay, a rubber band.
Corporate wants to know exactly how far they can stretch the price of a cheesy gordita crunch before the rubber band snaps, and you, the consumer, finally say, no, that's too expensive, and walk away.
And they pushed it really far.
Through the 2010s, they were meticulously testing the elasticity of every single demographic. And what they realized was that consumers were becoming hyper-aware of the stretching.
We started noticing.
There was a massive corporate announcement in 2018. They explicitly addressed consumer fears on an investor call. People were noticing the shrinking portions, the reduced value across the entire fast food landscape.
So what did they do?
Well, Instead of increasing base prices dramatically to keep up with inflation, which would snap the rubber band, they changed the structural consequence of the food itself.
They reduce the baseline filling density?
Yes, they altered the physical architecture of the product.
Mm.
Higher reliance on wet sauces, on seasoned rice, on structural fillers that add weight but cost fractions of a penny.
Wow.
And to mask this, they pivoted their entire marketing strategy toward, and this is the exact term from the corporate research Ryan provided, menu storytelling instead of static product identity.
Wait, menu storytelling?
Yeah, think about it. Instead of just selling you the physical item based on its weight and ingredients, they sell you the narrative of the item.
The narrative.
It's the volcano narrative. It's the Doritos Locos narrative. It's an experiential branding exercise to distract you from the filling density.
Menu storytelling. My God. What? That is the most profound thing I have ever heard in my entire life.
It's literally just marketing jargon.
No, you aren't hearing it. You aren't hearing the absolute devastating poetry of it.
Poetry.
They aren't selling us a burrito anymore. They are telling us a story about a burrito. The burrito is no longer a physical object bound by the laws of mass and physics. It's a narrative construct.
You're losing it.
We are consuming fiction. Oh my God, the sheer psychological warfare of it all. It's breathtaking. We are eating concepts.
You are losing your absolute mind over fast food rice filler. This is hysterical. Look at your face.
It's blowing my mind.
You look like you just discovered the theory of relativity, but it's about a beefy Fritos burrito.
It's an existential shift in the nature of reality.
It's a complete fuck, honestly. That's
Yeah.
what it is. It's a total unmitigated mind fuck.
It really is.
Ryan, pour us another one, you beautiful, arrogant cunt. You knew this would happen.
He knew.
You sat back there in your little director's chair, and you knew this topic would break our brains.
Wait, what was I saying? Let me look at my notes. The text on this page is,
Is it blurry?
the text is swimming a little bit. The letters are definitely vibrating.
Right.
2018, the storytelling. It's a tragedy, really,
Oh, a tragedy.
when you think about it. The loss of static product identity. If the burrito doesn't know what it is anymore, how are we supposed to know who we are? We have lost our identity as a nation.
Okay, dial it back, Socrates.
Huh.
Let's get into the Reddit era. Section 4 on the... Wait, I'm not supposed to say the section numbers.
Just skip to the date.
The period from 2019 to 2026. This is where the phenomenon gets highly obsessively documented.
Yeah.
The modern shrinkflation debate.
The modern debate, fueled entirely by digital comparison culture,
Yeah.
social media, Reddit creds, obsessive consumer price tracking.
Consumers are hypersensitive now. The rubber band is stretched to its absolute limit. They are actively, aggressively reporting smaller burrito volumes.
And the methodology they are using is wild.
It is citizen science at its most unhinged. They are scraping API data from the Taco Bell mobile app to track microfluctuations in weight.
That's dedication.
And more viscerally, they are photographing burritos next to their own hands in the front seats of their cars to prove the shrinkflation to the internet.
Oh, man.
They are tracking the reduced nacho portions. They are tracking the microscopic drink cup size adjustments across different regional markets.
Photographing a burrito next to your hand in a car. By yourself. It's just so incredibly lonely.
What are you talking about? It's data collection.
No, just picture it. Close your eyes and picture the human element.
I don't want to close my eyes. The room is spinning a little.
It's 11:45 p.m. The dome light of a 2012 Honda Civic is on. The dashboard is glowing with that faint, harsh green light.
Okay.
You're sitting there, filling this lukewarm cylinder of foil, and you are holding your hand perfectly flat next to it, taking a picture for complete strangers on the internet.
To prove a point.
We're all just measuring our sadness against our hands. We are trying to find objective, physical proof that the world is giving us less than we deserve. We just want someone to validate our emptiness.
Okay, stop. Stop trying. Forget the hands for a second. Let's talk about the cups.
The cups.
Because the drink cup size adjustments are where I draw the fucking line. You can mess with the rice. You can tell me a story about a taco, but who touches the cups?
They messed with the cups.
You don't mess with a person's cup. That's a sacred vessel. When I order a large fountain drink, I expect a massive, ungodly chalice of high fructose corn syrup that will sustain my vital organs for 48 hours.
A chalice. Yes.
The cup is the bedrock of the American fast food meal. It is the anchor. If you shrink the cup, you shrink the human spirit.
It's a conflation, though. You're conflating things.
I am not conflating.
The research explicitly says that in this era, Consumers heavily conflate true portion reduction with corporate recipe standardization, franchise-level variability, and mere packaging redesigns. It's not all malicious shrinkflation.
You have great hands, by the way.
Wait, what?
I'm just noticing them right now as you wave them around trying to defend corporate recipe standardization. No, seriously, they are very structural, very sturdy. Much better than a burrito. I bet Ryan has amazing hands.
We should probably...
Just strong, incredibly capable hands, pushing all those buttons on the soundboard, adjusting the audio levels with such authority. Cock.
You're very focused on Ryan right now.
He knows exactly what he's doing to us out here.
Yeah.
He keeps lowering the lights in the studio. Is he lowering the lights? It feels intimate.
I think my vision is just dimming from the bourbon.
Yeah.
We have to explain the value menu paradox. Between 2018 and 2026, this is a very important economic concept.
The paradox. So the paradox is the nominal value menus returned. The $3 to $7 Cravings deals.
Yeah, they came back.
They brought them back to appease the masses.
Right.
But the base menu pricing rises simultaneously.
Right.
And the portions remain highly inconsistent depending on the franchise. So it's a paradox because...
It's a paradox.
Because back in 1999... Wait, what the hell did we say about 1999? I completely lost the thread.
The golden age. The golden age of cheap abundance. Everything was under $1. We used to have it all.
Right. Yes. So if it was under $1 then, and now the value menu is $3 to $7, but the base items are fundamentally higher, and the cup sizes are lies.
Yes.
Then the segmentation, the decoupling, it's all just repeating itself. Do you see it?
Oh my God.
Time is a flat circle. We are just endlessly, perpetually decoupling from the burrito. We are trapped in a high-throughput simulation.
Let's look at the mechanisms. We need to explain how this betrayal actually happens on the assembly line. This is crucial for you to understand, listener.
So crucial.
Because unlike a bag of potato chips where they can just cynically pump more nitrogen air into the bag to make it look full, fast food shrinkflation is deeply structurally embedded in the prep process.
It's built into the DNA.
There are three main mechanisms of betrayal.
Betrayal. That is exactly the right word for it. It is a corporate betrayal of the highest order. Mechanism 1. Ingredient rebalancing.
The silent killer.
This is the silent killer. They take the expensive stuff, the core proteins, the seasoned beef, and the cheese, and they quietly, mathematically swap the ratios.
Right, the scoop sizes.
They use a slightly smaller scoop for the meat and a slightly larger scoop for the lettuce. Suddenly, over a period of 5 years, you have a lettuce and rice cylinder with a mere whisper of protein.
A whisper.
Mechanism 2. Product segmentation. Taking one beautiful, hefty, historically significant large burrito and splitting its DNA into 3 different tier options.
Right, breaking it
A
apart.
premium, a value, and a limited time. They fracture the burrito's identity so you can't compare it to the past.
And mechanism 3, packaging normalization.
Don't even get me started on this one.
Changes in the physical wrappers, the folding style, the actual density and diameter of the tortilla itself. They alter the perceived visual size of the item even when the nominal weight is perfectly stable.
The folding. Oh my God, the folding. This makes me absolutely furious.
It's very deceptive.
You get that napkin. Give me the napkin right now. I need to demonstrate this.
Careful with your drink. You're waving your arms.
Look at this napkin. Imagine this is the tortilla. Historically, they would take the tortilla and they would do a tight, honest, cylindrical roll.
Good, honest roll.
A structural roll. But now, they do this deceptive fold. A lie fold. Look at what I'm doing.
You're crumpling it.
They tuck it early, they leave a massive air pocket in the center, and they flatten the top so it looks wider when it sits in the wrapper. There's a lie fold.
I see it.
It's built on a foundation of deception.
Oh, shit. You spilled your drink. It's everywhere.
That's fine. It's
Oh.
totally fine. Ryan, I need another napkin, another drink, a double.
It's stripping off the table.
The lie fold is ruining society. They're folding it to lie. If they lie about the fold, what else are they lying about?
It violates everything. It violates the very core of consumer psychology.
Yes.
Taco Bell historically positioned itself as a purveyor of cheap abundance, a late-night volume-based food provider, a highly customizable, high-calorie-per-dollar safe haven for the weary and the broke.
A sanctuary.
When you modestly change those ratios, when you deploy the lie fold, it violates the foundational brand expectation. It creates massive, deeply rooted emotional backlash. Cheap abundance.
Hey, look at me. Are you crying again?
I just want cheap abundance. In my personal life, is that so wrong?
Oh, sweetie.
I just want someone to look at me across a dimly lit room and say, You are a customizable, high-calorie safe haven, and I want an absolutely abundant amount of you.
Is that so much to ask from the universe?
No, it's not.
Why is everything in my life so aggressively cost-controlled? Why can't anyone just love me with high throughput? Why am I always the LTO?
Oh, honey, no, no, no. Come here. Give me your hand. Listen to me very carefully.
I'm listening.
You are abundant, do you hear me? You are a premium tier. You are not a limited time offer, okay?
I'm not.
Don't let anyone in this world treat you like a modular assembly. You are the core protein. You are the steak.
You really think so?
I know so. You have a very stable nominal weight and frankly incredible packaging. Now dry your eyes. We have a job to do. Okay. Okay, I'm okay.
We have to deliver the ultimate truth to the listener, the final analysis. Inflation versus emotion.
Right, the economic reality. This is the hardest part to accept. When you strip away the emotion, when you actually look at the math.
The cold, hard math.
When you adjust for cumulative, multi-decade inflation in real, mathematically sound terms. Taco Bell isn't actually that much more expensive today than it was in the 1990s.
It's true. It's the bitterest pill to swallow.
It hurts to say.
The math doesn't lie. Economically, the pricing trends of these items are mostly perfectly aligned with baseline national inflation. But consumers, human beings, anchor to nominal historical prices.
We hold on to the past.
If you paid 99 cents for a specific emotional experience in high school, your brain fundamentally refuses to accept paying $4 for that exact same experience 20 years later, even if the absolute value of the dollar has mathematically halved.
Because portion memory is unreliable. We remember things being bigger, grander, more fulfilling, but it is deeply, profoundly emotional. Value perception for a human being is tied to the physical sensation of fullness, not just the abstract financial cost printed on a receipt.
So we are existing in a dual reality, economically aligned with the reality of inflation, but psychologically, emotionally contracting. We are getting smaller on the inside.
We were getting smaller on the inside. Wow.
Which brings us to the ultimate staggering conclusion of this 25-year expose.
I'm going to read this directly from the research Ryan provided. I want to get this exactly right. My vision is a bit blurry, but
Take your time.
It says, shrinkflation at Taco Bell is less about ounces lost and more about the erosion of a single consistent definition of a burrito.
Wow.
The erosion of a single consistent definition of a burrito.
Say it again. Let it wash over the room.
The erosion of a single consistent definition of a burrito.
That's the most beautiful, devastating thing I've ever heard. It's not about the food anymore. Don't you see?
What do you mean?
Everything is eroding. Objective truth is eroding. Human relationships are eroding. The single, consistent definition of reality is gone.
Oh my God.
The burrito is a metaphor for society. We are all just fragmented ingredients, trapped in a lie fold, desperately trying to remember the golden age of our own abundance.
It's a tragedy. A beautiful, high-sodium tragedy of modern capitalism.
Ryan Thomas, you absolute shithead. I know you can hear me through the glass.
He's smiling.
You gave us this topic because you knew. You knew it would strip us down to our emotional studs. You knew we would figure it out.
He's a genius.
You brilliant, manipulative, gorgeous bastard. Call me. Seriously, text me the second we wrap this recording. I want you to take me out to dinner.
To Taco Bell.
No. Somewhere real. Somewhere with actual table service and extremely static product identities. Call me, Ryan. I'm not playing.
We have to wrap up. We're out of time, listener. I want to leave you with one final, deeply provocative thought. Something to keep you awake tonight while you stare at the ceiling.
Oh, God. Prepare yourselves.
If our portion memory is truly this unreliable, if we can't even trust our own brains to remember exactly how big a burrito used to be, how do you know your memories of being happy aren't just inflation adjusted?
No.
Think about it. Were you actually that happy in 1999, or are you just anchoring to a nominal historical emotion that never really had any actual villain density to begin with? Are your memories of love just modular assembly?
Oh, God. That is entirely too bleak to end on. I love you people. You're great.
We love you.
Subscribe to the fucking YouTube channel.
Yeah.
At AMOTR. Do it right now so we keep our jobs. And for the love of all that is holy, someone out there needs to order me an actual physical Taco Bell item immediately.
I could eat.
A chalupa. Something with structural integrity, something that hasn't decoupled from reality.
We will see you next time on Off the Record.
Hey, Ryan. Did you like the deep dive? Was I good? You gonna text me?